All right. Welcome back to session number 2 of Sisters in Session, where therapy meets sister talk and nothing's off limits. We're two sisters who overthink everything, laugh too loud, and try to make sense of life's chaos one session at a time.
From relationships and self-care to the messy middle of growing up, it's part heart to heart, part comedy hour, and all real talk with zero chill. Grab your coffee or drink of choice and settle in. It's time for your weekly dose of sisterhood and self-reflection.
Full disclosure, because we keep things real.
Real talk, zero chill. Hit me with it.
Real talk, zero chill. We are kind of re-recording.
We are. And it's on me. It's on me. I'm taking the blame. I was gallivanting in Ohio, and the Wi-Fi was not Starlink. Again, I'm going to say that. It was not kosher.
So, having said that, we are not going to try to recreate because we could never. We did kind of have a topic, so we're going to start out the same and we're going to trust that there was a reason that we are re-recording this one, and we're going to go from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
fresh start.
Do you have any updates from week 1's podcast?
Updates as in?
Like anything to follow up on from the first one?
I don't really think so. It was a hit. People liked it.
What? I have just been seriously blown away by the people reaching out and being like, we loved it. Like, when's the next one? I have had people who I've heard between the two of us, because we get different people reaching out to us. I have heard it from people who are pretty heavy podcast listeners who like it. And then we heard it from people who don't really listen to podcasts, and they're like, I loved it.
Yeah. Which is pretty iconic, because I'm not like a huge podcast girly. I listen to like crime podcasts a lot, but something to get my adrenaline going, because as if that's what I need. My heart pill doesn't stand a chance. But yeah, it's kind of a flex.
The feedback has been so encouraging.
Yes.
And it's so nice to hear. It's so fun to hear. Mm-hmm. We have gotten some take it or leave it questions.
Super excited for that today.
We love that. Okay, so anyways, my follow-up from week 1.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't listened to it yet, go listen to it and then come back to this one. But my follow-up is 1, if you listen to the stories about Addie Grace and the screen time, you'll know what I'm talking about. But an update on that is the latest I heard was, we already knew that none of her friends at school have screen time limits. But the latest that I've heard is that her friends feel sorry for her. So if we could take a moment of silence for Addie Grace and the fact that her friends feel bad for her. Yeah. Yeah. So take a quick MOS.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to move on.
Yeah.
And the second follow-up is, if you remember, Lexi was joking about the fact that whenever I get things sent to me to share on Instagram, they're in my size. But I finally got something that is one size fits all. And it is...
Okay, wait. They say that. That's what they want you to think. Go on.
Boob tape.
Oh, yes.
And nipple covers.
We're gonna get this episode's gonna be explicit just because you said that word.
Probably. Oh man, I tried the BOOB tape. And listen, we are both part of the ITBC. No, IBTC.
Heavy on that.
And so I tried to because I tried to use the tape, and it didn't really have anything to stick to, or it wasn't enough. The NIPPLE covers. Listen, I was like, I should try these. Because since we're part of the committee, we can sometimes go without.
Oh yeah, we can, and that's a flex.
And so then we just need this. So I was like, you know what? I'll try these. So I just wore them around the one evening, just like under my pajamas. And then, this is no joke, forgot about them. Slept with them. The next morning, I got ready for my workout. Still forgot about them. Like, took off my pajama shirt, put on a sports bra, still forgot about them. Literally, and they never moved. Did a whole workout, went for a walk, was getting in, like, took off my sports bra to get in the shower. And, like, I just, like, looked down and was like, why does that look weird? And I was like, oh.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that they're good.
They're so good. Never budged.
My goodness.
And I didn't feel them. So
that is the best thing I've ever heard. Genuinely, the best thing I've ever heard.
So I do have those.
So check out her Like to Know It.
Yeah.
For those. That is so funny. Literally so funny.
Yes.
That is the blessing about being part of the committee. It's like you can wear it, you can wear that without that. But also mine, I don't want to get too intense here.
Right.
Because this is a family-friendly podcast.
Tis it is.
If your kids can spell, don't listen. Or pause it. Mute it. I don't know. Anyway, mine aren't the same size. Which is, I feel like that's across a lot of girls, most people, that's the case. But let me tell you something. When I wear some
girls or like right and left.
No, baby, I'm talking right and left.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, no, we're working with different sizes.
Okay.
So that is nice, but if I wear something without that, I have to wear something that is kind of like compressed or like tight across that area. So that's good to know about those.
I definitely remember that always being a thing whenever I was younger, like different size, but now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know when the last time that I noticed that was. So maybe you'll grow out of it.
Well, like, it's not like a seriously noticeable difference. It's something
I get that
while I'm loathing, I notice it. while I'm really like, giving myself a hard time, I'm like, and there's this.
And you couldn't even be symmetrical.
So not only are you small, you're different sizes. Perfect.
Wow. We went so hard on this subject.
Well, it's something I feel very passionately about.
And that's what we're here for.
Exactly.
So yes, update was I did get something that technically I could share with you.
You know what? I'm good.
And Addie Grace's sympathetic friends. Speaking of friends. That is what we're going to talk to today. Friendships as women, friendships as not older, like.
Oh no, baby, you're 32. Claim it. Claim it.
Not like teenagers or, in college.
Yeah.
Those kind of friendships. So I did a little fact checking.
As she do.
Not fact checking, research. Oh. Don't fact check me because I just used Google, so it might be a Google AI result. So just chill, okay? It's just for some perspective.
It's not even like that. Don't make it like that.
It's not that serious, babe.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So
hit us with it.
Yes. The one statistic I found is that the percentage of women with 6 or more close friends has fallen from 41%, which was in 1990, to 24% today. So almost in half over the last 35 years. Bad math. That's wild. 6 or more.
Yeah.
Also, on that note, because I was specifically trying to look around the millennial age, we are statistically, and I think we kind of claim it, the loneliest generation.
Oh.
A 2021 study showed that 30% of millennials report always which is wild, or often feeling lonely. In that same research, though, they said that those same women would still claim to have at least one or two, but at least one really close friend. So, here's what we're going to figure out today. Why is that different? Why do you feel lonely, but you at least have one or two friends? Just kidding. We're not going to figure that out.
We're not going to get to the bottom of that. This isn't Ghostbusters, okay?
So, there are. And whenever we originally recorded this, I had Lexi guess, but since we can't, we're not about being fake. We're not recreating.
Well,
and she
if
did
it
really
makes me feel any better, I don't actually remember. So, I have short-term memory loss. I remember maybe one.
But she did really good.
Yeah, I did. Clock that.
But there are 4 main reasons that women would say, or I don't know if they would say, but studies show that women struggle to make or maintain friendships at around our ages. Number 1, unspoken rules and intensity. So that's I feel like I'm always trying to make plans with you. You're never making plans with me. Would kind of be intensity or unspoken rules. If you get invited to supper, you should just automatically include me, especially if it's a mutual friend. That's just an example. But that kind of mutual, unspoken rules.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, conflict avoidance. So we don't like conflict. Under this, I have.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, under this, I have, for example, accountability partners. Women make terrible, and I can attest to this. I have one, and every day we're like, nah, girl, you're good. We make terrible accountability partners because we're just oh no, I totally get it. You're good. Guys, what do guys do, Lexi?
I'm telling you right now, just from what I've heard from recent men conversations, they're going to be like, dude, you literally are the worst. You're literally worthless. Get up and do something, you worthless piece of garbage. And I am saying this because my brother-in-law would say that to me. Yep. Lamb chops. Lamb chops would say that to me. And out of love. He would say it out of love.
So conflict avoidance. Number 3, toxic comparison. I don't even feel like we need to explain that, but because it just makes so much sense.
Yeah. Because that's what it is.
Yeah. That's what it is being a woman, is constantly comparing yourself to every single other woman in your life. All right. Yeah. Number 4, anxiety and trust issues, with a little sub point of overthinking interactions, seeking constant reassurance, and or the fear of rejection. Okay, so those are our 4 top reasons, and we can kind of, as we go throughout, maybe we'll reference these back. One more question before we kind of start talking and getting into this a little bit more, just in our own experiences. Have you heard of the 7-year friendship rule? Before we originally recorded this podcast.
No, I'm not going to lie. I was literally just about to say that. I know we went over this in the first one. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's in the Ohio air, but I cannot remember. I vaguely remember what it is or what it's about. But honestly, do us all a favor and elaborate on that, would you?
I will absolutely do that.
I knew you would, girl. I knew you would.
So the 7-year friendship rule is essentially, if you have been friends with somebody for 7+ years, you will more than likely be friends with them for life. Which seems kind of crazy, but also that makes total sense because I do have a couple friends that I have been friends with since childhood, and we are still friends. Now, we don't live in the same area. We have a lot of different things going on, but we're still I would say they're a core between me and Tori, and then these two. It's a core group. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't you guys call yourself the Fabulous Four or something?
Forever 4.
Okay, my bad. My bad.
And now I'm thinking okay, so have I made a new friend within the last 7 years?
Well, yeah, I mean, you have.
But we're not still do I have a friend besides for them that is 7+ years old?
No, you have to give it time to cook.
Right. But
Yeah.
there's a long time between childhood and 32.
Whoa, age drop.
There's way more than 7 years.
Yeah.
And all I have to show for it is 2. So I would say it's my 2 friends.
Outside of one of them being your sister.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so let me regroup here for a minute. So I do feel like I have one who has come along in those last 7 years who I see us making it past that mark.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. So going back to that statistic about the percentage of women with 6 or more close friends dropping in half. Do you have 6 girls? I'll even say people. It's talking about women and their friends, but I don't think it specifies whether or not they were male or female friends. But you know what? For the sake of conversation, let's do girls. Would you say that you have 6 or more close friends? And we're going to count sisters. Go ahead.
I was literally just about to ask that. You and me. You and
Same
me.
page, babe.
Yep. Do I have? Oh, I'd love to say yes. Like, do they have to meet that 6-year mark? 7.
No.
Okay,
It's just like current. Do you have 6 close friends?
Okay, let me think. I'm counting on my fingers. Leave me alone. We're counting the sisters. Okay. I'm gonna say yeah.
You have 6.
I think so.
Slay. I think I only have 5. So if anybody's looking for a friend, I have a spot for you on my roster.
I'm desperate, but I'm here.
I have a spot on my roster. It's open.
Yeah, my roster's not, so don't try. I'm just kidding.
Okay, so that's interesting. How many of them are 7+ years older? Obviously, me and Tori. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're like still continuing to fuel these friendships. You're gonna make it to the 7-year mark.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I hope so. Nobody wants to think about losing a friend. One of 6. So at that point, if I lose 2, I'm cooked.
No, I hear you. Do you think, or in your experience, how does a friend breakup compare to a relation, like a partner breakup? Now, let me preface this by saying neither of us have like a massive dating history. So,
You're right.
So how, like, from our limited experience with like a boyfriend breakup, like I have one official boyfriend breakup.
Yeah.
Multiple friendship breakups that were my fault.
We're just not going to divulge into that.
Right.
We all have skeletons.
So you go. I'll give this to you. In your experience, friend breakup compared to like a partner breakup.
Okay. So, I mean, let's be honest. Lexi hasn't had a lot of boyfriends, as we've just covered. I would say, okay, so my like breakup, like my like a hard one was a complete mess, and I was young, and a complete like it just was not like it was not good. Sometimes I thank God for unanswered prayers. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, Garth Brooks said it best.
He did. He did. No, but it was hard at the time, if that makes sense. But like now that I'm like when I look at it now, I'm like, babe.
Yeah, but you can't really like you were in college.
Yeah.
And the relationship even at the college age had already been like a little bit.
Yeah, right. And
so
it was.
You are allowed to experience that in its moment for what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't compare it to the maturity and life experience that you have at 27.
Right. So like looking back now, I'm like, girl, get it together. But then it was a big deal, and it was hard.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I will say, I think I'm not going to say a friend breakup's worse, but it definitely holds a candle to the relationship breakup. Like it's definitely up there. They're both terribly hard, but I I don't know. I think they're about even. I'm not going to lie to you, because while you're breaking up with someone romantically, sure, like that's obviously going to be hard. But like if you're breaking up with someone more emotionally involved as far as like friendship, that's tough.
I'm
That
not
is
going to
tough.
lie to you. In my opinion, the question was kind of like a trick question because, in my opinion, they are comparable, but like also not.
Right.
Because, like, obviously, like, as a partner, as a lot of life experience, as a person that I spend every day with, like, Lamar is my best friend.
Right.
But, like, you're also my best friend.
And
Because
don't you forget it. Clock it.
It's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I was curious to how you would answer it, but, like, in my opinion, it was kind of a trick question because, like, they are similar in the fact that all of a sudden you had this really important person in your life and now you don't.
Mm-hmm.
But the connection is different between the two.
Sure.
So it's hard, in my opinion, humble opinion, you're not really comparing apples to apples.
Right.
So I apologize, but thank you for answering truthfully because it was kind of a trick question.
Yeah, no, I was trying my best, and
You did good. I thought you did good.
no, and I stand by my answer.
Perfect.
Yes.
So do you consider yourself, or would you consider yourself, a good friend?
As far as, so here's the thing. I'm going to be real. I will make plans, not cancel, but like I'll make plans, and like a lot of times, like both parties, it just won't work out. Or I'm one to be like, yeah, let's do something soon. And like, it just doesn't really like work out. So I'm not the first to reschedule those plans because I'm just like, do they want to hang out with me? Or is it just like, they're just pitying me because they're one of my six? But like, as far as like being a good friend, like ride or die, would do anything for you, I am. Whether people believe that or not, if you're my friend, you're my family, and I would do anything for my family. So yeah.
But I wouldn't be wrong in saying that there is a certain level. It's not like, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it's not like one day you just meet a ride or die.
Right.
Like there is some casual friendship that leads up to then forming that relationship. Would that be fair?
Yeah, I would agree.
I agree. So, and I just want to circle.
So.
What?
You said it, so yeah, you agree.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, duh.
I would say that this particular scenario that I'm about to bring up falls under one of those 4 reasons. And it's kind of, you had sort of brushed over it, but I feel like it is worth discussing because I too am guilty of this. So you mentioned in passing briefly in that monologue you just gave, that plans happen, plans get canceled. Maybe I don't reach back out because maybe they don't want to do something.
Mm-hmm.
I have heard of people saying, I just feel like I'm always the one trying to make plans and nobody else reaches out to me. Like it's always me putting forth the effort. Maybe I just stop putting forth the effort. And I have some thoughts on that because I think sometimes that we are given different gifts and different skills and different personality traits. So that might just be your strength in the friendship. Right. Case in point, I have a friend who I am always kind of trying to make the plans, not so much now because we live further away, but at the time, trying to get together, trying to make plans. And before I would reach out, I would be like, oh, like, I don't want to bother them. Like, why am I like always trying to like, maybe they're busy, or you make up all of these excuses as to why you shouldn't make plans. Mm-hmm. Every time I would say, hey, what do you think about doing this? Or what do you think about meeting up for this? Or how about we do this with the families? She would be like, that is such a great idea. Let's do it. And it would work out. So don't let that stop you, because then we had a lot of great times that were initiated mostly by me. Now, a little caveat. If you are continuously over and over again trying
Why did I think you said caviar?
Caviar.
Yeah, no, I get it now. But in the moment, I was like, a little caviar. I've never heard that phrase.
If you continue, caveat, if you find yourself trying to make plans and are continuously not getting something set up from their end or getting canceled and like they're canceling and then not trying to reschedule on from their side, you might have to reevaluate.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you should continuously, you'll know. But if you are the one who is making plans, but the plans are being followed through, I would say lean into that strength because that might be something that you're good at where they are busy and have 16 other things going on. And it's not that they don't want to, they just don't feel like they take the time or think about it to like set things up. But I do hear that a lot. It's like, oh, I always try to set something up or oh, I'm always the one reaching out. And I get it. Like I've been there and I'm still not perfect at it because like it is kind of, you do feel, you overthink, you feel like you're being a bother or just like continuously inviting yourself into their lives. But if they are accepting you, I would say, and be the reason that that friendship continues.
What about you? Would you say that you're a good friend?
I would say that, yes. Today, if you would ask me, yes. Could I always say that I was a good friend? No, I've done some horrible things as a friend. But that was a different time in life and just a lot of different, I'm not going to blame anybody else, but like, yeah, I'm talking from myself, a different time, a lot of other factors within my own life. But yeah, I would say that I am a good friend. I am very good because I've made it a purpose to. I have accepted the fact that I may be the one that always reaches out and touches base and set things up. It doesn't mean I don't always fight the inner dialogue of like, maybe I'm bothering them. Maybe they don't really want to. Why wouldn't they reach out to me if they actually wanted to hang out? But so I would say that I am a recovering.
Oh.
Yeah. A recovering like over like, oh shoot. A recovering afraid to make planners.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. I think it helps that you're the oldest sibling, the eldest sibling, because you're constantly, I mean, if it was up to me and Zachary, we wouldn't have anything. We wouldn't have any, as far as like making plans, doing things, you know, seeing each other. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and I mean, Tori has kids and a husband, so like, it's not as easy for her. Like, Zach and I are not good at making plans. Now, if it's like spur of the moment, like we're like, hey, let's go. And I'm like, yes, let's go. But like, as far as family affairs, you're the planner for sure.
Yeah, sometimes that's exhausting.
Well, it's a burden. It's a cross. Do you know what I'm saying? It's your
cross. But I'll bear it because I love you guys.
Well, also, if you don't, we're going to be in shambles.
Yeah, and to me, I'm like,
can open, worms everywhere.
Yeah, like to me, I'm like, if you can recognize that, then why am I still the one?
I just like, why would I take that from you? Do you know what I'm saying? It brings
you do such a good job. You're so good at it.
You do, and you excel at it. So who am I? Who am I? I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, I do think that probably, well, I mean, I think a lot of personality traits come from being the oldest sibling. And let me just toss this in here because this always comes up. Every time I make a joke or blame something on being the oldest daughter, the first thing I will hear is, aren't you a twin? Yeah, I am. And if you knew me, my twin, 1, not only are we so different, 2, listen, I love Tori. She is in my phone. Her literal contact name is Hippie. I mean, the girl is as chill and laid back and go with the flow as what you can be. And whenever I tell you.
Meanwhile, Tessa sees a decoration at her house out of line. Her eye starts twitching. She starts.
Yes. And there's a part of me that is jealous of that lifestyle. So like, having said that, so if you ever hear me reference being an oldest daughter, don't you dare come for me just because I'm a twin. Because she is just free and easy Down the road she goes.
Dierks Bentley.
Yeah. Wow, we are like country lyrics, man. We're just knocking them
On
out.
it. Yeah, they are completely different. I will say that.
So I think that a lot of my personality traits come from being the oldest daughter. And yes, I would agree that part of that is the planning, and that's why, because naturally I am that way, but that's why I had to overcome my own insecurities, because here I am, a planner, sitting here being like, we could do this or we could do that. I had to, because I sit here with all these great ideas
with nowhere to go.
I have to overcome my insecurities and just be like, okay, if that's the role that I have to play in order for this friendship to make it the 7 years lifetime, then I'm good with it.
Yeah.
I'm good with it. And so I am just encouraging you, even if you're not the oldest daughter, if you find yourself being that person, do it. Just lean into it, be the planner, make the plans. Especially if your other friend is a mom, trust me. I mean, play dates are great, but that mom wants to go out with you and go have a minute.
Yeah.
If the only way you can do it is to have the kids together, then do that too, because community is so important. So I would still recommend it. But trust me, if it's another mom friend, she wants to get together. She wants a connection besides her children that she's around all the time.
Yeah. Or her husband.
Maybe.
I don't know. I can't say.
But probably some days.
But honestly, probably. Yeah. I'm not saying yeah for me. My man, who's not my husband yet, and he will be listening to this. He's not like a child. That's not what I'm referring to.
I would say that I am a good friend, to answer your question.
I would agree.
I would agree that you're a good friend.
Oh, my word. Stop. I'll cry right now.
We are on the verge of like codependency.
Yeah, I think Lamb hates it.
Listen, we are.
What are we to do? We're just girls.
And we have a lot of life that has been lived. I would say that our relationship is, I hope everybody has it, but I don't know that they do, and I would wish it for somebody.
Oh, me too. 100%. I just think there's such a comfort in, like, no, speaking of friendships, this goes with this, but I think there's such a comfort in, like, oh, this person hurt me. Oh, this boy hurt me. But, like, specifically, I'm not even going to say boy, because we're specifically talking about friendship. So, like, oh, this person hurt me. Oh, this person, like, when something happened in my life more so recently than not, like, Tessa's the first person I went to. I was like, Tessa, like, this really hurt. And even though I'm going to get emotional. And even though she's in Florida, I knew that no matter what, you know, I could be like, Tessa, like, this hurt. Like, this was hard. Even if she, you know, doesn't agree with how I handled things, which more often than not, like, we do agree. But even if she didn't agree with how I personally, like, she's still there to listen. And I feel like that's the best quality that a friend can have, is like, just being there to listen, not being like, well, this is what you should have done. Okay, well, that's not always what we need to hear. Now, a good friend will later say, hey, maybe we should have done this differently. And she did. But in that moment, when I needed her, she was there, and she was there to listen. And I think that, first of all, talk about your feelings, because especially with a friend, because if you keep that bottled up, like, literally it will affect, you know, something can happen and you can talk to your friend and it'll only be a thing for 20 minutes. If you leave that in, it could be months, weeks, and a lot of feelings can get built up in that time. So if you have a trusted friend, please talk to them, because it will make it'll make such a big difference in how you handle this situation. But back to what I was saying, it really just, it's such a comfort to know you have that person who you can call I would say anytime, but Tess is asleep by 8:30 p.m.
That's true.
8:30. That's old. I do like to be in bed early. I will say that. But anyway, so, it's a comfort to know that, you have that person that you can be like, hey, this is what happened. And I really need to talk about it. Again, in the moment, she was like, yeah, I'm here for you. She was like, yeah, this sucks. And then after I got advice and whatnot, but in the moment, get it off your chest with a trusted friend.
Yes, because I think the key to making a friend pass the 7-year friendship test is to stop making assumptions about what they are thinking or feeling and just communicate. And sometimes I struggle with that with you because like I just love you so much. And so like I'm always like on your side that like I sometimes have to tell myself just be the big sister and give her the advice.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the key to making those longer lasting friendships is to don't make assumptions about what they're thinking or feeling about you or about the situation. And in that same sense, they may be making assumptions about you and your side of things because neither of you are communicating.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we as a society are so afraid that like how we're feeling or what we're thinking might be so crazy and people are going to get upset or mad just because we say one thing that's contradictory to what somebody else is saying. And I'm talking like this is little things for the most part. Like if you're in some sort of friendship, you're not having a blow up about, I'm not saying that like, I think you can be friends with people of different political views, different religious backgrounds. I think that, but I'm talking about like, if you're in this friendship, more than likely you either know that about each other and you don't talk about it if it's a sore subject, or you're on the same side, whatever the scenario might be. I'm talking about like the little things. Like, hey, the way you said that the other day, I don't think you meant it that way, but this is how I felt whenever you said that. Instead, we just all of a sudden you said one thing, not meaning it in any way, and I have had 15 conversations with myself playing you two, and I am 3 days down the road and I have completely concocted this entire scenario and came up with all of the reasons as to why you said what you did, why you don't like me, why you disagree with me. And I never once took 2 minutes to say, hey, whenever you said this the other day, like, what did you mean? This is kind of how I took it. And knowing like the kind of friend you are, I don't think that's how you meant it, but maybe you could just like clarify. And I promise you, not every time. I don't even want to put a percentage of it on it. But most of the time, they're going to be like, oh my word, girl, I definitely did not mean that at all. Like, we're good. We're good. And that would be it.
Yeah.
But like, how guilty? I'm talking about myself here.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's a sign of like a mature friendship too. I feel like if you were like, hey, what did you mean by this? Like, I feel like in a adolescent relationship, like someone would be like, well, what does she mean? What does she think that I meant? Like, no, like, what did you mean by this? And a mature friend will be like, hey, either I literally meant nothing by it, or, hey, this is what I meant by it. And, you can kind of talk about it further.
100%. If she did mean it that way, you going to her and being like, hey, just curious, like, if you meant it that way, like, let's talk about it. Like, is this something that I do that annoys you or you have an issue with or whatever the case may, like, whatever the scenario is.
Mm-hmm.
But I am willing to bet that the majority of these friendships that aren't making it the 7 years or whatever is because we make wild assumptions about how somebody is thinking or feeling, and we never communicate how we're actually feeling about things. I'm terrible at this. Seriously. Yeah. Like, I am so bad at this because I don't want to ever make anybody uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I just know that I am very guilty of assuming how people are feeling and making up conversations in my head about
everything.
everything.
It's in the description. We overthink.
Yes.
Okay. Again, we're just girls. It's bad. The overthinking has got to stop, which it has gotten better, but it's got to completely stop.
Yeah, no, it's so our encouragement would probably be, don't be afraid to reach out.
Mm-hmm.
Openly communicate how you're feeling. And it will help. Now, this leans, it's good for friendships too. It's also good for marriages. Start with not I think. I think that you think that I'm stupid because blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Instead, we don't use I think phrases. We use I feel.
Yes.
I feel hurt in the way that you described the scenario, in the way that you brought this up, etc. What did you mean? I would really like to talk this out because you're a good friend and I want to continue in this friendship. Can we have a discussion about this? Yeah. And if they are a good, mature friend, they'll be like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you can go from there. And in 7 years, in 8 years, in 10 years, because you passed the 7-year test, you guys will still be friends.
Yeah. But also I would suggest my advice is to be honest. If you meant it that way, tell them that, but talk to them like you're talking to a friend, like a really good friend. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, don't lie about things and be like, well, I didn't mean it that way. Because all that's going to do is just keep eating at you. Because in the back of your mind, you're still going to have that in there. But like, just be like, hey, this is what I meant. This is what I said. I'm sorry that it hurt you. But, talk about it. Because if not, nothing's going to get solved.
If you cannot be completely honest with a person, then you don't really have a friendship anyway. It's not a real one.
Yeah.
And this is where people pleasing is really hard. I want to talk about that in another episode because it's a very big problem for men. So where we grew up, completely surrounded by family, and a lot of our friends were built-in family members, yes. Cousins, siblings, first cousins, second cousins, all the things. So once you get away from that, like moving to Texas or Florida, you suddenly realize how hard it is to try to make friends. And being a people pleaser plays into that because I have to think of like, I'm going to try to explain this eloquently because I'm not always great with words, but I tend to not necessarily change who I am in order to mesh with somebody, but because that's my tendency, and I am so jealous of people who are just so secure in who they are, I tend to gravitate towards those people because then I don't have to think about it, but I tend to lean towards and do what you're doing so that I can be your friend.
So that you can feel secure in the friendship.
So I can feel secure in the friendship, which is so stupid.
Yeah.
Because not only can you have a friend with different interests, now it is nice if you can go do things together, you have similar, I don't even know, what do I like? What am I interested in? That if somebody sat down.
Yeah.
And I have been in this scenario and all of a sudden you go blank and I'm like,
yeah.
What are my hobbies?
Yeah.
What does Tessa like to do that's not something, a side note of this other person and this past friendship that they like to do that I kind of did at the time?
Yeah.
Seriously, that happened to me one time in Texas.
Did you panic?
I did. I was like, I like to read. Honey, I haven't had time. It's so rare that I do like to read.
Yeah.
I'll just sit around reading. I don't have time.
That's one of those safe answers.
Right, because we're so afraid that we're going to say something that somebody thinks is stupid, even if it's something that we like. It's a question. They're asking me about me, myself, and I felt like I could give a wrong answer.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I get it, but it's crazy. Why are we wired this way? We'll get into that in another episode because it has to be discussed. It has to be discussed.
We can definitely dive into that, but I see that personality trait, and it is something I'm trying so hard. Oh, He is helping me, and I'm going to get into it because I thought he was helping me more until I was slapped in the face. So here's a little teaser. I was slapped in the face Sunday at church with something that I thought I had overcome. And he was he showed me something still related to people pleasing, but it was a specific thing. And I was like, Oh my word, you're so right. Like I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
We'll get into that another time.
Mm-hmm.
So, any final thoughts on friendships?
Be honest. Be open.
Be open.
For
Don't
sure,
be
be
afraid.
open.
Yes, don't hide who you are.
No.
We are
No,
all
we're
broken
done
people.
doing that. It's
Yeah.
2025.
So
we're
whenever
done
somebody
doing
asks you
that.
what your hobby is, there's not a wrong answer, babe. It's your hobby.
If you like reading, say that. But if you don't really get to read, don't say that.
You can't answer wrong. It's
literally what you
wild.
like to do.
It's wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, be honest, be open, be willing to be vulnerable, because even if you have to do it first, it'll be such an opening. It'll open such a deeper part of the friendship, because they will then feel that they can be open. And that is what
friendship is
really
for.
Good friendship. Yes, the deep connection. And I'm talking like the dark stuff. And I don't want to get too, but like I'm talking about like the things that you struggle with. Hey, I'm struggling with my self-worth. Like I am depressed. I'm really having thoughts of like, I don't want to be here. And that's heavy.
Yeah. It's a lot to carry for one person.
It's a lot to carry for one person. And then you talk yourself into not sharing it, which just makes it even heavier.
Yeah.
I promise you, it will deepen your friendship to be open, be honest, be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Be yourself. Be yourself. Quit trying to be what you think people want you to be.
Yeah. You needed to hear that more than anyone.
I think I did.
No, see, and
all right. That was good.
Yeah. No,
thanks for being a friend.
Oh, my word.
Thanks for being a friend.
Travel down the road back again.
Hey, guess what time it is?
Take it or leave it.
Weird.
Yeah. It is time for this part of the pod gets me so giddy. I love hearing from people. I really do.
Oh my word, me too. Okay, so take it or leave it. Just a quick, we're not going to, if you need to hear all the roles and all the little intricacies, go listen to episode 1. So we're not going to go into the whole thing, but what this is you either DM us or put it in the chat box. Lexi will throw one up probably at least once a week, maybe twice a week because they expire. Or email. Yeah. DM, email, or in the little chat box. However, we love any questions, any thoughts, anything. But yes, take it or leave it. Always anonymous.
Yes. We've had 1.6 thousand views in the last 30 days on our Instagram. So shout out to you guys. But instead of just viewing, follow us. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes. And on that note, follow us on Instagram. Follow our show. Like, subscribe.
All the things.
Spotify, Apple.
Our Instagram is sistersinsession_pod. Always anonymous. But if you want to be super anonymous, our email is sistersinsesh@gmail.com. Okay. So you have the first one from the first recording. Go ahead.
Yes, we do. So it is, we were asked, what's one habit that you wish you didn't have? And what's one that you're holding on to forever? What is one habit that you wish you didn't have?
Oh, I would say laughing in uncomfortable situations.
Oh, my word.
No, listen. I do that. Like, don't look at me. I'm so serious. Do not look at me when it needs to be serious or it's uncomfortable because I'm going to cackle.
Yeah. That's
like a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. One habit that I wish I didn't have would be cracking my knuckles. I've gotten better. I still do it. And listen, I have no idea if there's truth to this, but I swear I have arthritis in this knuckle. And that is what I'm blaming it on. I think scientists have since debunked, because that's what we were always told when we were kids. Yeah. Like, stop popping your knuckle. They're going to be huge. You're going to have arthritis. I don't know if that's actually true. However, I swear. And so now I'm like, don't crack your knuckles ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what's one habit that you're holding on to forever? I'll go first if you want a second. Mine is making my bed.
Ooh.
So I cannot express to you how much more my life feels put together if I make my bed. There are days that it might not happen until like 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening. Like, you just get up, you just get going, and the day doesn't stop. But I still make it.
the bed still gets made.
Yes, because there is nothing like crawling into a bed that's been made. However, I would say that that's like the exception and not the rule, because your room, your day will feel more put together if you start out your morning by making your bed. And so I love that feeling. And so whenever my discipline or my motivation doesn't match
Yeah.
where I need it to be, that's like working out, that's like reading my Bible, all of those things. Whenever like the motivation, the discipline is not there, the feeling that I'm like, you know what? Later you, tomorrow you, tonight you is going to thank you for this. So yes, making my bed every day.
Good one. I would say this is going to sound so stupid, but I would say lighting a candle when I walk in a room.
Oh,
Let me tell you something.
that's
A candle
fun.
hates to see me coming. I'm serious. I like walk in the house and I'm like, candle, candle. I mean, we have one here in the living room. We have two in the kitchen, one in the bathroom. Well, like a wax warmer that gets turned on too. Like I am lighting a candle.
I love that.
Yeah.
Nice.
I hate, I don't like the smell of house.
Okay.
Yeah. I like the smell of coconut pumpkin or whatever I have over here right now.
All right. Good one. Good one.
Okay, cool. So this first one was from a friend that I have, and it just made my day. So she said that she loved the pod. She said it was easy listening. Like I don't think you understand. I like read it and was like, I was cheating.
Yeah, she sent it to me and I was like, I'm actually a little bit emotional.
It was so sweet. It was the sweetest message.
Yeah.
But she wanted to know, she said she's dropping her take it or leave it here, like in a private message. What podcast were you talking about that you actually enjoyed for budgeting? Because she said she's constantly buying stuff for the house or clothes, shoes, or not shoes. She didn't say that. Or even groceries. And she's like, I don't even need this stuff. And I feel that, especially grocery shopping. Like even when I'm not hungry, they always say not to go when you're hungry. Even when I'm not hungry, I'm like, oh, yes. And guess where it's at? In the pantry.
Yeah. Okay. So the podcast that I was specifically referencing it's not technically a budgeting podcast. However, it's Rachel Cruz. And if you don't know her, she would be Dave Ramsey's daughter. However, this particular podcast is called Smart Money Happy Hour. And it's definitely way more laid back. And she did mention that. So there's always like some like budgeting tips built in, but it's not like the Dave Ramsey podcast where you call and specifically be like, here's how much I make. What can I do? I need to have this much debt, blah, blah, blah,
It's
blah,
not
blah.
like the Dave Ramsey podcast where you feel like garbage after you listen to it.
It is way more low key. They do both. It's her and a guy, and they do both have like financial background. So it's always kind of tied in, but in a much more personable way. And that's where she had said that. So it's called Smart Money Happy Hour. And they always have either a mocktail or a cocktail. And that's where the happy hour comes in. And then at the end, they tell you what it is, how to make it, how much it costs per drink. It's super fun.
That is fun.
Yes, girl, I totally get it. I am constantly buying things that I don't need. I'm in the no spend October. So I get what you mean whenever you're just like, I need to like take a break.
How is soft spend October going?
Soft no spend. Well, we have about a week left. And I'm counting down the days. That's how it's going. That's all I need to say.
Yeah, nope, we got it.
Yeah, so Smart Money Happy Hour. It's fun to listen to. It's not real long, and you do get little money tips just sprinkled in.
Yeah, cool. Nice. I'll have to listen to it, actually. It kind of sounds, you make it sound good. Are they paying you for this advertisement?
Plus, you'll get it. And for those who, Rachel and I are the same person.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'll have to listen then. Okay, next one. Next, take it or leave it. And this one is going to be so fun to divulge.
Oh boy. Have I not seen this one? Because I have no clue.
No, you haven't. Okay, this one is going to be, because we've all been in this situation, I think. What is a good response when a friend tells you their baby's name and you hate it? Pre-birth of the baby. This is such a good question. It's so good.
It is so good.
Because what do you say? If someone's like, my baby's name is Mackenzie, Adeline, Grace, Loretta.
Chickily. Do you ever Jane on Instagram? Chickenly. It's Chickenly. So funny.
Oh, that's good.
It's not her real daughter's name. She plays the character Chickenly. Okay, so read me the exact question again.
Okay. What is a good, I lost it. What is a good response when a friend tells you their baby's name and you hate it? Pre-birth of baby.
Dang it, this sounds like it's in person.
Yeah. And
first of all, take a deep breath and check that face, girl, because this is like me. Lexi says all the time that I have a terrible, like, poker face.
Oh.
Wow.
Hi, this is our son, Crusader Lorraine.
What? And this is pre-birth, so like,
yeah,
you technically have time to like give your opinion.
Yeah,
but man, are girls weird about baby names. So I would definitely tread lightly. Okay, so for real, advice.
Yeah.
Now we just talked about being open and honest. Dang it!
I'm gonna hold your hand while I say this.
I love you so much, but
that name is garbage.
Maybe listen, here's what you can do. Ask a question.
Yeah.
Ask a question. And if you do it right, they're not going to follow back up. So if they say, hey, I'm having a girl and I'm going to name her Chickenly, what you can do after you check your face is ask a question. So then you don't just be like, where did you
come up with that?
Yes. Where did that come from?
Is that a family name?
Interesting, intriguing,
yes.
or good.
Use positive words.
And just
positive.
Yes, I would ask a question instead of saying an opinion or trying to cover up how you actually feel. Definitely don't lie.
Yeah, well, no, we're not lying.
My advice, take it or leave it, but I would ask a question. Where did it come from? How did you come up with it?
Yeah.
And then skirt away from that conversation.
This is Chickenly. Is that a family name?
Because the last thing you need them is for them to like follow up with like, yeah, I really had to use.
Yeah, it's after my great grandmother. What?
No, worse. Because you could still kind of play that off. You could be like, you want to name her after her.
Yeah.
But, like the worst thing is that they come up with something like wild, where it's like, yeah, if it was a boy, we were gonna name it Rooster after my uncle. But instead, we just went with Chickenly because it was a girl. Again, that's a wild scenario. But like, you get my point. Whenever you have to ask the right question, or you're gonna dig yourself a deeper hole.
Oh my goodness,
that was so funny.
Just sent me over the edge.
Rooster and Chickenly.
We are just honestly, we're just here to maybe be a bright spot in your day. I know that this is a bright spot in my day, so I hope it's the same for you guys. We're going to try to release a new episode every Friday, as long as the technical difficulties are done being difficult.
I always enjoy this. This is like one of the literal highlights of my week.
Yeah, same.
And hopefully you laughed whenever we laughed, cried when we cried, and...
Okay, that was a shot at me because I'm the only one.
No, it wasn't a shot. It was like a hug.
It was a virtual hug.
It was a virtual hug.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to, we'll see you, next week?
Next week.
Next week. All righty.
Bye. Bye.